So it's the middle of 2025 and your sales are either up, down, or flat, but it doesn't matter because you are frustrated, you are uncertain, and you're unclear about what to do next. And the good news is you're not alone and you're not wrong. The ground is shifting beneath our feet and you have to recognize where you're at. You as an owner, a founder, or a CEO, you're really good at what you do. Running a business, engineering, operations, whatever your superpower is, you're delivering great products, you're leading your team, you're delivering great services, and you're really pleasing your current customers. But when you think about your marketing, it probably feels a little bit like a black box. Marketing has become really complex, let's be honest. Marketing has changed dramatically over the past 5 to 7 years. And recently we've heard this promise that AI was going to fix it all and replace us all. But the reality is that's just not true. AI feels like it's making more work at the time. It's just more tools, more noise, and less results. When you think about your organization and your internal team, they're capable and they're doing a great job and doing everything they can, but they're tacticians and not strategists. And what we don't need to do is create more noise. We don't need more tactics, more plans, more executables. We need a clear plan with a high probability of success. When we think about what your job is as a CEO, as a founder, as an executive, it's to bring the right people, the right strategy, and the right team together to execute the marketing function, to support your business goals, and to make sure you're growing. And what that means is choosing a path that's realistic, strategic, and effective. Marketing isn't just about generating leads. It's about supporting every key function in your business, whether it's recruiting new employees, whether it's retaining your current employees and getting them to rally around your brand and your culture, whether it's supporting your salespeople and helping them with their current clients and prospects. And even maybe your marketing is about attracting new vendor opportunities. Marketing is such a key component of your business today. The good news for most mid-market and even small companies is that the playing field is shifting in your favor. If you're a late adopter, if you're behind on digital marketing, if you're behind on your go-to-market strategy, you're actually in a strong position to leapfrog. And why is this? It's because large incumbents are very, very slow. They're managing budgets. They're in silos. They have turf wars. They have internal politics they're dealing with and a lot of red tape. With your leadership, your organization can pivot more quickly. You can react to market conditions. You can test, fail, optimize, and then find the right things that are going to work. You can be aggressive. And when we think about some examples of this, you can think about in a lot of industries, there is a market leader. There is someone who's very mature that has probably spent millions of dollars over the past decade in their marketing. They're hitting on all cylinders, or so it would appear. You can chip away at that moat, at that giant with the proper strategy and threading the needle, finding that critical path that will outmaneuver, outflank, and outperform those brands. This is the challenger brand advantage. This is what mid-market and smaller companies can do. And there's 3 strategic edges that you can have that will allow you to get there. One is the speed of execution. You don't need to wait. In some cases, you don't even need to wait for a budget cycle. You can act today. You can align yourself with a strategic partner that can help you move quickly. And in 30 to 60 days, you can pivot. Another thing you can do is you can be more decisive. In large organizations, they have departments that are vying for budget, that are trying to get their piece of the pie. You don't need to focus on the whole industry or on every area of your company. You can get niche focused and outperform in one area that will allow you to dominate in that area that drives real value for your organization. Instead of making sure you're spreading that marketing budget across every department, you can pick the winners or the opportunities and really elevate those and outflank your competition. When you think about niche focus, there are geographies, verticals, or specific products or services that you have that outperform the large competition, the dominant player in the market. By focusing on these and these niche opportunities, you can really grow your business and not compete by spending as much as the dominant brand is in your market across their entire portfolio. So, what is the risk you're really facing? It's the risk of inaction and doing nothing. Confusion and lack of clarity leads to delay. If the promise is clear, the price, the resources, the effort, they are easy. And if you find a way to define a clear strategy, it makes the risk of doing nothing really high because you now know what to do. But many companies just don't go and find the right strategy. So, what's the first next step in what you should be doing? One, you need to start by stepping back and audit your strategy. We need to ask, what are we trying to achieve and what tools are we missing? What tactics do we need to go after? And what's the clear strategy? And some companies have the internal resources and team to do this, but many do not. And that's where you probably need to get some outside help, some strategic marketing expertise to help you really define who you are, what you're doing, and where the opportunities are. In addition, you need to figure out how to thread the needle and pick that critical path that's going to allow you to outperform and outmaneuver your competition. Companies that win in this cycle will be the ones who make these decisive and strategic moves. There's no doubt about it. Inaction is your enemy, but strategic action is what will help you dominate in your space. This season of marketing isn't really about spending more. It's not about working harder. It's not about applying more resources or big pivots without clarity. You don't need more tactics. You don't need to overwhelm your internal team with more to-dos. You need a roadmap that puts you back on offense instead of playing defense. Thanks for joining today. And in our next episode, we're going to talk about how challenger brands can outmaneuver the giants in their industry. There's a real opportunity to win, even if you're late to the game. You need to know where to strike. Make sure you subscribe and don't miss what's next. See you next week.